So, you are all very welcome to another session of mindfulness meditation for everyday life. Today, we will be focusing upon the fourth aspect of Kāyānupassanā, the contemplation of body as body, with reference to the Mahā-Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, included in the long discourses of the Buddha, the four establishments of mindfulness. Well, what is the fourth aspect? It is patikula manasikara. That means reflection on the repulsive of your bodily elements, your bodily parts. That means, in a nutshell, it is a reflection on the anatomical constitution of your body. Why this is important? Why we should bother just noticing and understanding this nature of disgust of our bodily function and bodily elements? What is the matter that we have to reveal therein? To my own understanding, this is well worth practicing and training yourself to be more familiar with your own bodily awareness, your own bodily mindfulness. Actually, we started with mindful breathing practice, which is kind of very close inspection on your mind-body phenomenon, your mind-body dilemma. Then we expanded the horizon towards mindfulness on four bodily postures, then mindfulness on the overall bodily activities. That means whenever you are standing, walking, lying down, sitting on the floor, whatever you are meant to be doing, you are still mindful and clearly aware of what you are performing in the present moment. So today we come to kind of very focal moment of understanding this anatomical constitution. If you can really delve into this gradual path of meditation practice, perhaps you can understand this is a moment of gradual development of your mind. Because according to Theravada tradition, bhavana simply means the progressive enhancement of your mind. It is not something happening in the blink of an eye. It takes time. It develops step by step. So we began with mindful breathing practice, then four bodily postures, the overall bodily functions. So now we are in the moment to deeply analyze and embed it with our anatomical constitution, the bodily elements. That means now we are more closely deal with our own body. This is a gradual path. That's why this is not a kind of immediate or sudden awakening or sudden result that we can achieve through the practice. However, to achieve the immediate awakening of your life, still you have to come into existence step by step, slowly, patiently. Well, in the discourse, the Lord Buddha said nicely and wisely, Punaca param bhikkhave bhikkhu imameva kāyang uddham padatala dhoke samattaka tacha paryantang bhurang nānapakārasa asucino paccavekati. A monk revives this very body from the soles of the feet upwards, then from the scalp downwards, enclosed by the skin and full of manifold impurities. How? What kind of impurity that you can realize when you dive into this subtle contemplation of your bodily elements. In this body, you can see there are head hairs, body hairs, nail, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone, marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, pleura, spleen, lungs, mesentery, bowels, stomach, excrement, the bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, tallow, saliva, snot, synovic fluid, and urine. This is a great list, counted as 31 elements of your body. That is how your body is made of. Although you say, oh, this is my body, this is my beautiful and magnificent creature of my own soul, can you really say this is beautiful, this is gorgeous and amazing? No, it's not. When you clearly and distinctly see it, you cannot grasp into either one element, either one piece of element in your entire body as beautiful, as amazing. No way. It is disgusting. It makes you, and it kind of, to some extent, it makes a recipe for deeper sense of aversion, repugnance towards your bodily nature. So there is a nice analogy that we can learn this disgusting nature of our own bodily matters. The Buddha said, like, just as if there were a bag open at the both ends, full of various kinds of grains, like pearl rice, paddy, green gram, and kidney bean, sesame, and husk rice, then what happened? A man who has a good eyesight, so he were to open the bag and then examine. Then he starts saying, oh, this is hill rice, this is paddy, this is green gram, and these are kidney beans, this is sesame, and this is husk rice. That's all we can say. Although we say this is body, but when you deeply and exclusively diagnose and understand each component of your body, you cannot learn at least one element as body. Body is composed of a variety of elements which are disgusting. In the theory Gatha, it is said that if one were to turn this body inside out, even one's mother were unable to smell that. One's mother absolutely would be disgusting too. It is that much disgusting. So why the Buddha is delivering or kind of pronouncing this kind of practice? What is the benefit? What is the effect? The reason is that, the discourse of 5 hindrances, on the basis of Visuddhimagga, whenever meditative practitioner starts practicing meditation, there are 5 hindrances that he has to escape or alleviate as a result of his own practice. But the first and foremost defilement or hindrance is sensual desire, craving, lust, or greed. It begins with your bodily nature, your bodily functioning. So the more you can practice the disgusting nature or the real nature of your body, you can become less desire, less craving, and greedy for your own bodily maintenance. I know very well people are very much keen about maintaining their bodily beauty by making use of a variety of cosmetics and items, equipments, because that is part of human nature. But what's the reality therein lies? And also we have to learn from it. The difference between appearance and reality. Appearance. Apparently, this is beautiful. But conversely, when we examine more deeply and exclusively as it actually is, it is not beautiful as we think, as we suppose to be it. As it actually is, it is nothing other than the matter of aversion, matter of loathing. That's all. So this gives rise to the matter of nature to understand our body is not inherently beautiful. It is absent of beauty. So we need to understand through the practice of this particular manasikara, the reflection on the repulsive of your body, the absence of beauty within you. So the more you can understand the inherent absence of beauty, so then you can go far beyond your practice. Why? You are always hesitating with your own body. Perhaps it is to some extent indeed, it is a paraphernalia wherein you can practice and train yourself, but at the same time it is an obstacle too, that it prevents your growth of meditation, your growth of your awareness, your wisdom, your sensitivity. For this reason, we need to understand the effect of this particular manasikara is more relevant to reduce and mitigate your own desire, your sexual motives and aspiration and craving and fretting for the worldly happiness. If you really can put aside this kind of sensual pleasure, indeed, it makes room for your own awareness, your own mindfulness to a deeper extent, not in a narrow lane. You always have to cut the edge of this sensual stream and boundary. So the third point that is more important whenever we do practice this particular manasikara, this repulsive reflection on our body, you know, the three fundamental characteristics of existence of our life, the tilakkana, anicca, dukkha, anatta. In the discourse, the Buddha said, Upado panyayati, vayo panyayati, tehtassa anyatattam panyayati. There is a rising and a sort of existence just for a while, but finally it is vanishing. Arising and vanishing ultimately. So all are rolled into one universal nature of the Dhamma, arising and vanishing, appearing and disappearing. Even your body, it is also subject to appearing and disappearing, pleasing and displeasing, and arising and falling apart. We have to accept it. Otherwise, we cannot develop our own authentic practice of meditation. The reason lies behind that meditation is not something particular moment that you have to be confined within yourself. You should be immersed yourself through the entire life. That's why the Lord Buddha skillfully made use of this kind of strategies to sharpen and widen your own practice. So, accordingly, we are supposed to understand the nature of uncertainty, isn't it? Yes. Your body is uncertain. It is always changing and vanishing. We cannot hang on or hold on to a static nature or a static, unchanging moment of your body. Just reflect upon your body quite few years back, maybe 20, 30, 40 years back. How were you? But now, look at yourself, how you are, how you feel it, how you do understand the current moment compared with the past, the present, and perhaps in the future. This is kind of very subtle dynamics. So the dynamic waves that you have to go through in your life. Uncertain, then it causes suffering. Indeed, your body causes suffering, isn't it? And so if something causes suffering, sorrow, tears, pain, it is absent of self. That is the final bit of understanding wherein we have to come up with through the overall practice of this repulsive reflection on our body. So overall, in the introduction part, for the reflection on the repulsive parts of the body, with reference to the Mahā-Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, what I wanted to share with you today, it is more important. Why? Although you practice mindful breathing, this is still making space to escalate the level of your practice, to sharpen and broaden more and more. You are being more familiar with your own bodily nature, your own dynamics, your own bodily compartments and elements within you. Second, the more you can practice this introspective understanding of your bodily elements, this anatomical diagnosis, it helps reduce your sensual desire, sexual motives and aspiration, this kind of very obstacles and hindrances towards your own deep awakening in life. In this way, when you practice more and more, you may understand your body is not inherently beautiful or magnificent. Apparently, it is a beautiful creature on earth, but conversely, in reality, it is still subject to change, vanish, and fade away. That's why people are suffering. People are dealing with so much troubles, mental disturbances, and psychological disorders owing to ignorance caused by this bodily nature. The nature of uncertainty, the matter of suffering, and the absence of self. Eventually, you may understand, oh, your body is absent of self. It is not static in itself. It is not inert by its very nature. It is flowing. It is constantly changing. It is in a constant flux or stream that is always changing. You cannot stick into it. You cannot hold onto it forever. But just for a moment, it is still changing. You need to accept it. How you can accept it? Step by step, inch by inch, you may delve into this subtle nature, this reality, then you will realize, oh, this is not that much beautiful. I have to accept this sublime reality. So then you may understand the reality as it actually is. The Buddha say, the Sutta Samahito Chittang Yatha Bhutang Pajanat, the Sutta called Samadhi Bhavana. In the middle length sayings of the Buddha, the more you are being calm and peaceful, you may understand the facts as they actually are, not as they are apparently or kind of they are pretending to be there, but as they actually are. This is where we should touch upon today. Well, I hope this may be helpful today. Now we move on to our actual practice of our mindfulness meditation. I think we will begin with, as usual, a bit of loving kindness meditation. Yes. Why it is most supportive to be calm and peaceful within yourself. Then we slowly move on to this deeper extent of mindfulness practice in a slightly different way today. So you may be ready. Be assuring with your own environment. In the first instance, just listen to this sound, how it arises and slowly goes away. We may now begin with loving kindness thoughts within you first. It begins within yourself and then extends towards all sentient and non-sentient beings in this infinite universe. We believe that it helps us examine the subtle nature of our mind and body. May I be well, happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to me. May I always meet with a spiritual success. May I also have courage, patience, determination, and understanding to difficulties, problems, and failures in life. May I always arise above them with morality, integrity, forgiveness, compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. May my parents, relatives, teachers, and friendly beings be well, happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to them. May they always meet with spiritual success. May they also have courage, patience, determination, and understanding to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. May they always rise above them with morality, integrity, forgiveness, compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. May all unfriendly beings, if any, be well, happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to them. May they always meet with spiritual success. May they also have courage, patience, determination, and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties, problems, and failures in life. May they always arise above them with morality, integrity, forgiveness, compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. May all sentient beings and non-sentient creatures on earth be well, happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to them. May they always meet with spiritual success. May they also have courage, patience, determination, and understanding to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. May they always arise above them with morality, integrity, forgiveness, compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. We may now slowly look into detail of our own bodily nature. You may patiently reflect upon these words of wisdom. Your body, I revive that this very body from the soles of the feet upwards and from the scalp downwards, enclosed by the skin, and it's full of manifold impurities. You may now contemplate upon these places of impurities embedded within your body. In this body, I can see that there are head hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, pleura, spleen, lungs, mesentery, bowels, stomach, excrement, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, fears, tallow, saliva, snot, synovic fluid, and urine. You can realize that this is just as if there were a bag open at both ends, full of various kinds of grain, such as hill rice, paddy, green gram, kidney beans, sesame, husk rice. At the same time, a man with good eyesight would open the bag and examine them, saying, "This is hill rice, this is paddy, this is green gram, these are kidney beans, this is sesame, this is husk rice." And in the same vein, you may understand to what extent your body is made of by a variety of impure elements around you. Ultimately, your body is nothing more than a bag full of grains and beans. It is not inherently pure and beautiful as it is pretended to be. In reality, it is clearly associated with the nature of disgust and repulsive to a great extent in nature. You may now understand why I should bother gaining desire, hatred, and illusion due to this trivial piece of creature on earth. This is inherently not beautiful and gorgeous. In actuality, this is disgusting and loathing. This is absent of beauty, pleasure, and joy. Your body arises and slowly fades away, decays day by day. Your body is uncertain. Your bodily faculties give you suffering, pain, and sorrow. Perhaps even right now, you may feel it. Therefore, there is no eternal essence or pleasure that we have to rejoice in. This is indeed absent of self. Based on this subtle reflection, we move on to another aspect of our practice. This combined with mindful breathing. That means mindful breathing plus contemplation of the bodily nature at large. Breathing through your nostrils. I know that I am of the nature to grow old. Breathing out through your nostrils. I know that I cannot escape old age. Breathing in. I know that I am of the nature to get sick. Breathing out. I know that I cannot escape sickness. Breathing in. I know that I am of the nature to die. Breathing out. I know that I cannot escape death. Breathing in. I know that I will have to let go of everything that I cherish in this life, including this bodily nature. Breathing out. I know that I cannot bring it alone. It arises and then falls away. Ultimately, including your bodily faculties, and these elements that are made of this body. Constantly changing. It causes suffering and pain. So everything is absent of self. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To my understanding, as a summary, I could say, on the basis of the Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, the Buddha also said, as part of this reflection on the repulsive of the part, your bodily parts, iti ajjhatang va kāye kāyānupassī viharati bahiddhā va kāye kāyānupassī viharati. That means you always start with your own bodily anatomical elements. That means your awakening begins with your own practice in the first place. So once you start it off, then you can absolutely expand it towards other sentient beings too. That means whenever you can understand this subtle dynamics of your own bodily nature, because this is not that much beautiful and amazing piece of nature in the planet, but it is inherently absent of self in this way, so then you can look at society through the lens of this reality. That means whenever you get angry with someone, whenever you get desire for something, then you can question yourself, to whom and with whom I get angry. It is with this person's nose or heart or liver or legs or hair. In what aspect, to what extent I get angry with that person? Because there is no person at all. It is a collection of elements in reality. But we get angry with people. Why? Because of this ignorance. However, Conversely, if you can practice to a deep extent of this repulsive nature of your bodily nature, I believe that it gives rise to your own patience and cultivation of good psychological traits. Then you don't have to get angry with someone. There is no place for sprouting the leaves and flowers of desire or craving and fretting for the world. These are actually meaningless and useless to whom has practiced a lot this repulsive nature, but in a balanced and a wiser way. So this is a kind of countermeasure to eliminate your sensual pleasure, desire, and ignorance, whatever arises within your mind. So yes, that's all it's about in a nutshell. Then your body is a bag full of beans and you're full of beans and grains. That's all you can learn from it time to time. So in the first instant, you need to know that. Then delve into it. No need to hold on to it. Just make use of it for your life maintenance, that's all. But ultimately, you should know that I am perfectly headed on my own awakening. That means understanding this uncertainty, and also this we say this impermanent and everlasting changing of our life. That's all we need to know in very brief. Well, so any question? Is it clear enough? Yeah. So did you get the point, the relevance of this reflection on the repulsive?
Why this Lord Buddha says that the sack with open with two sides? I mean, to get the grain out of the of the sack, you can get it from.
Yes, normally it simply means when you open up the bag, that means no both sides, it open at both ends. That means it is overflowing and it is overpouring on the floor. Then you can clearly see and distinctly see what's happening, what's there, what I have been maintaining this far. This is a bunch of impurities, isn't it? That's why it is, you can see very well. Yes, indeed. It is a nice analogy. Even this very simple simile, you can understand this whole volume of this practice. Buddha, any question?
I have a question.
Yes.
Not
please.
about this session. The general one is always when you say that Nama Rupa needs Vijnana and Vijnana needs Nama Rupa. But when it comes to Nama Rupa, I think if the Vijnana we take it separate, the Nama Rupa separate. But when you say Chetana, actually it belongs to Vijnana.
Yes.
So how do we separate? Because within this Nama Rupa, there is
yes, indeed.
elements of
yes.
Vijnana.
Yes, of course. It is a
difficult to understand.
It is a good question. It is very much similar to the question in Abhidhamma, the higher doctrines, the Chitta and Cetasika, the consciousness and mental thoughts, how we can distinguish between the certain elements or certain aspects, inherent aspects between consciousness and mental thoughts. In fact, according to the corpus of Pali courses, I would say they are intermingled. They are blended with each other, your consciousness and mental thoughts, especially when it comes to understand this Nama Rupa that means your subjective elements and your objective elements. Your rupa, your matter, your feelings, rupa, vedana, sanya, your perception, sankhara, and mental formation, vijnana, your consciousness. So consciousness is there by means of consciousness. That means your chitta, the consciousness, the vijnana. Then in the nama rupa, when it comes to the doctrine of nama rupa, it means your mental thoughts. That means it arises within conscious. For example, now I am here, you are there, I have my physical eye. Then how I can get the image of yourself, image of your body or your figure, your physical figure? It is a collective process. That means three things together. That means I come up with my own physical eye and consciousness and your body. Then after rising my consciousness, then I understand. I am meant to be understanding what kind of figure. Then I start with many thoughts. That means Chaitasika. So this is very much same as the Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa here, mental thoughts. In that way we need to understand the mental thoughts, the Chaitasika. But consciousness it is full of Vijnana. Vijnana plus Nama Rupa. So this is like A plus A. Like A plus A means like two sticks as together. The nice sutta called Nalakala Sutta in Sanyukta Nikaya, in the gradual sayings of the Buddha. In this sutta says, they are standing with each other. They are collaborating with each other, our consciousness and mental thoughts. It is very much same with the Nama Rupa and Vijnana. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Very good.
Is it necessary to learn Abhidharma? I think without studying these numbers,
yes,
going to this author of Buddhism,
yes,
the Sutra, understanding them, actually we can progress without, because first I thought, I was a bit disappointed, I couldn't learn Abhidharma, especially when we were living here and we didn't have many local places. So the Abhidharma classes in Chisik is about 9 o'clock at night, is difficult. But now after listening to so many sermons, I thought actually you don't need Abhidharma so much.
Indeed, I would say that it depends on what's your purpose of practicing Dhamma or hearing Dhamma. If in Sasana, in the discourse, we have 3 layers actually. The 3 layers means Pariyatti, Patipatti, Pativeda. Yes, Pariyatti means learning and researching, studying the Dhamma. Then Patipatti means practicing and training what you have learned so far. Then Pativeda means awakening and enlightening yourself through the practice of your learning. So Abhidhamma is representing itself just one aspect of the Dhamma, but it is not so much necessary to awakening of your life. They are so much methodical, so much theoretical. Even a single piece of Dhamma more than enough to awaken yourself if you are very much authentic, if you are truly embedded with your own practice. So if you want to become a practitioner, then I wouldn't say, oh, you need to go with the whole bunch of Abhidhamma and Sutta Pitaka, this corpus of Pali canonical literature. I never recommend that. However, if you are coming up with curiosity and your own favorite thoughts in learning Dhamma or researching on the corpus of literature in Pali and other schools of Buddhism, then I would say, yes, please go ahead. Or this is, or this is Abhidhamma, this is Dhamma Sangini, this is Patthana. So this is where you can learn about a bunch of conscious thoughts and aspects, this kind of stuff, I would say. But if you are really intent on understanding the nature of your life, actually it's a very simple and very practical thing that you have to do. That what you know, then just put into practice. Even just a simple piece of mindful breathing, this is also more than enough to end up with your own awakening. Yes, of course. So your scholarly intention or your practitioner intention. Very good. It was a nice session, though, with very few people. But I'm very satisfied with the quality of the session rather than the quantity of people. I would always think of that, because many people think, oh, meditation is not for us. It's a milestone away for us. It is just for forest monks or just for Buddhist monks. Some people very much think of that. It's no problem at all. Whoever comes up with clear and pure intention to practice and awaken their own life, that's perfectly fine with me. Well,
when we grew up, we didn't have access so much to this Dhamma, because in the radio, I think we heard from Vajrayana monks, and it's always even, I mean, monks used to say, Deus me sepa kelavara winda Mahamara. So we didn't realize when we were little that no, in this life we can go get there. But we were, I mean, being told that it's a far away, in a distant thing. Now we are too old to go.
No, I think it's still you're very much capable of doing that, because we are still within striking distance of this Dhamma. It's because you're very motivated. You have an inspiring necessity to practice and learn this message. So you're already on the track. What you have to do, just put into practice what you hear and what you listen in a right way, in a more enthusiastic way. Then you can indeed cut off your egoistic defilements and go and touch upon the realm of the Dhamma in the depths of your spirituality. Well, so today we learned about the reflection on the repulsive, the particular manasikara in the Kāyānupassanā, the first establishment of Satipaṭṭhāna, and the fourth aspect out of 6. So by the merit of doing and practicing mindfulness meditation and hearing Dhamma, discussing Dhamma, may you all continue to remain safe, healthy, well and happy. May you all be capable of putting your every effort to understand this disgusting nature of your own bodily nature as to understand as it actually is, rather than being eluded within its appearance at large. Ultimately, may you all attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana selissa niccang vaddhapachayino cattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatte sagga sampatti me vacha ato nibbana sampatti minate samijjhatu. May the Noble Triple Chain bless you.